And that's Exactsies. Good game. Jank Slayers. And they scoop it up. Hey, you. Get on in here. Come on, come on. There's still time. Yeah, I'm just drinking the jasmine tea. Why don't you grab yourself something, sit down, have a quick cup of coffee or something with me. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Congratulations, everyone. You found the champ dog. Welcome back to the channel. So today I was hoping to share with you some historic content, playing a Grixis list, but my list sucked. I didn't have wildcards to make it better. I lost a few games and I was really tired and didn't feel like continuing to lose. So instead, we're going to be jumping into some standard best of one, and we're going to be back in there with the Lorehold Lottery, aka Winota. But first, you know what you have to do. Oh yeah, heal me, wake me up. So we're running a slightly different Winota list to what we did in the last video, but the last video got such a good reaction, so many views and so much engagement that I thought I'd give the people more of what they want. And also it's just nice to grind and rank up a bit. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let's jump in and I'll show you the new list and what's different. As I said, we're playing some more Lorehold or Boros Winota. So the list we're playing today was put up on Star City Games by PVDDR. You'll notice there's a few differences to the list we were playing. As I said in my previous Winota video, that's not really the deck that I wanted to play, but I was trying to conserve wildcards. There are a few cards in there that I didn't think were amazing, but they were in there anyway, just because I didn't want to craft other things. But anyway, I got a handful more wildcards from drafting and stuff, and I had more of the, particularly of the Strixhaven cards from playing a lot of drafts, and I wanted to give this list a whirl. So one of the big differences is we no longer have Professor of Symbology. So Paulo said that he found that card to be quite underwhelming. He had high hopes that it would be good being able to either grab a summoning spell like Inkling Summoning from the sideboard to get another creature that can activate Winota on the battlefield, or else Rummage to find land drops, but he was underwhelmed with it, which kind of matches my experience. Like, I did like having the utility to Rummage, but he's a much better player than I am, so I thought I'd defer to his judgment and just try out what he replaced it with, which in this case is 3 Shale and a single plug. So the reasoning behind Shale is it activates Winota and it's a flyer, so we can attack reasonably safely on a lot of battlefields, but also the ability to put a counter and everything can be quite good as well, particularly with Winota. Like, if you get a couple of Winota triggers and put like 2 or 3 creatures onto the battlefield off Winota, you can attack with Shale because it has vigilance, get the trigger, and then once those creatures come on, activate it to put counters on them, which particularly with the double strike from the Historian can be pretty devastating. The single plug can help a lot in the late game. The 5-mana tap ability is deceptively powerful, but even the discard to draw can be really good if you do need to like find a land drop or you draw dead later in the game. Plus it also activates Winota. It's just another decent card that fits in curve. Augusta, I can see situations where it could be helpful, but I haven't cast it for that at all yet. Notably, Augusta is a human, so it won't trigger Winota. He's cut Alseid, which I agree with his reasoning. You very rarely have the 1 mana open on the turns when you want it, so you really want Alseid to protect Winota or Blade Historian when you play them, but you're generally aiming to play them on turn 4, so you don't have the 1 mana to use Alseid anyway. And Usher of the Fallen is just a much more aggressive 1-drop, puts a lot more pressure on the board. The boast ability can be really helpful. Yeah, so it just feels better and stronger, and that definitely lines up with my experiences. Luminarch Aspirants come out, Seasoned Hellowblade has come in. Paulo's reasoning was that hitting Luminarch Aspirant off a Winota trigger felt like hitting nothing at all, which is true. Seasoned Hellowblade doesn't feel incredible when you hit it, but the 3 power is way better than 1 power when attacking, particularly if you've got the double strike off Blade Historian. And it's also, it fills the same role as the Aspirant, where you can just play it as a 2-drop that's difficult to deal with and makes life hard for your opponent. Obviously, it doesn't grow your board the way Aspirant does, but it's a much better attacker on its own. It's a much better Winota hit on its own, and it's still a 2-drop you can play in the games when you don't have Winota that makes life hard for your opponent. I've got the 4 Spellbinders. I crafted the other one. It's a really good card. I'm probably going to need it eventually. It's one of the best things you can hit off Winota next to our Blade Historian. He's got a single Redain. You know where that's helpful. Obviously, Skyclave Apparition. He's not playing the full 4 because it can just be a little bit awkward. This is an aggressive deck, and the 2/2 body is just a little awkward sometimes. 4 Bone Crusher Giant because it's great, and then the 4 Winota, 4 Blade Historian is the backbone of the deck. There is a sideboard, but we're just playing best of 1, so I'm not going to go through the sideboard. But yeah, that's the deck. We're still just trying to play cheap non-human creatures, curve into Winota, and get a million things on the board and win the game. Our backup plan is to play a Blade Historian and attack with Double Strike. And yeah, being in these 2 colors gives you a pretty decent, fair game. In the games where you don't draw Winota, you can still just do a reasonable impression of a 2-color aggro deck. But yeah, that's the deck. It's still really strong. It's still stupid easy to win with. So let's jump on into some games and show you how we go. Well, I wasn't even given the option of going first or drawing first. That's a bit rude. Hand seems acceptable. Maximum power on the board. So it seems like our opponent is holding up a shock or something of that nature. Just from the stick here. So we're going to play out our cheaper creatures rather than give them a higher value target for it in Shale. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's spicy. Boros Magecraft, I guess. Get in for 5 here. Play out Birdie Boy. Yep. So weird. But yeah, I imagine this must be a Magecraft situation. Underworld Breach. Sexy. This is some serious jank. I love it. I absolutely love it. I could have also boasted there to make a human token. Maybe that's what I was meant to do. Okay, so they're just trying to fill their graveyard as much as possible. And maybe go off with Underworld Breach, but we're just gonna do a stack of damage. We're just going to do a stack of damage and tell them to deal with it. I mean, they're dead to stump here. Doesn't really matter what they do unless they can win the game this turn. It's almost a shame because I'd love to see what their combo is. Goldspan Dragon, okay, does not save you. Not even close. Yep, might as well attack because you're dead next turn anyway. Can you do something exciting with the 2 mana? That's cool. 4 mana. Can they kill me? I guess not. They would have had to do 10 and have Fling. Alright, good game. Okay, I don't know about this hand. Don't have any red mana. But I do have some good 2 and 3 drops. I don't know, it feels risky, so I think I'm going to take a mulligan here. I think this hand is actually better. Put back a Spellbinder, I guess. Or do I put back Shael? Yeah, I mean, it's the weakest individual card in my hand. Reveal, doesn't matter, I got no plays, but whatevs. Oh, my throat. Okay, nothing to snag with Duress, so sucks to be you. This looks like it might be some sort of mono-black control if they're playing Swamps and main deck Duress. Interesting. Obviously we're going to lead on the Hello Blade. Tell him to deal with it. Hopefully top another land so we can Spellbinder next turn. Ooh. Yep, no, still nothing. So this is some sort of weird Witherbloom situation. Okay, I can get behind that. I'm seeing a lot of jank today. At the very least now with Usher, even if we don't hit land drops, we can keep expanding our board through the boast ability. Okay, you're at 3 mana. You've thrown 2 cards in the bin for nothing so far. Do you have a meaningful play this turn? Cultivate, okay. We ramping? Yeah, so some sort of weird Golgari situation. Interesting. Elite Spellbinder. Obviously we could have boasted there, but I'd much rather get into their hand and see what they're up to. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they got 5 mana next turn. I think I'm going to take the card they can cast and destroy one of my creatures. Obviously Blood on the Snow is a much more threatening spell, but I can probably take that next turn. I assume they field trip here. Okay, so they cast it anyway. That's fine. That's their whole turn. We're happy with that. If we top deck a land this turn, we win. There it is. And that's Xaxis. Good game. Jank Slayers. On the draw. A little bit unfortunate. Hand is okay without being amazing. Mono red. This is where they want to stomp. Yep. Otherwise I sack it. I don't have a way to sack it now, so it's now is the turn they can guarantee they can kill something and still get their giant. Okay, do they attack? They do. Throw away this temple. I don't really want to tap land at the moment. Happy enough to trade a tap land for their annoying first striker. We can... plus we're going to draw more lands anyway. Apparition, get rid of the giant. Get in for some damage. I think I need another coffee, but it's so late in the day. What you got, Monored? What you got, Marcel? Okay, they get a 3-3. It's not what I want, but here we are. Honestly, I think we just keep Shale to discard. We can't really attack into this Fireblade Charger because we end up discarding 2 cards to it. Ouch. Cancel. That's a pretty bad draw for us. Sure. Okay. I really doubt they attack with Torbran here. They do. Okay. Happy to make this trade. I don't know if we were meant to play that out, but neither of those sides are particularly powerful at the moment. This could be Embercleave. Yep. So we're probably just dead here, unfortunately. Yep. Oh well, they got us on the draw again, which sucks, but yep, I think we can keep this hand. We've got a good 1-drop, we've got a turn 2, and a choice of 3 drops. Hello? Jaspera Sentinel. Well, I wish we had an answer to that this turn, but we don't. Okay, no red. Oh, it's just elves. Okay. We'll get rid of you. And we'll attack in with the Usher here, see if they want to trade. Didn't think they would. So Redain's not going to be doing much for us here. Another War Master, sure, why not? Why wouldn't it be? Get rid of you so they can't flood the board. I don't want to trade it for a token. That's not very valuable. Bugger. Still, they don't exactly have a great attack here. Okay, I guess we start doing the thing. Please. And thank you. Yeah, that makes life a bit hard for them, doesn't it? They may have forgotten that the Blade Historian has Indestructible, or they may be forgetting that everything has Double Strike. But that's not how I'd be blocking. Maybe they're just trying to soak up damage. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's not exactly great blocks for them either way. Alright, and to think that was looking bad for us last turn. This deck is degenerate. It's disgusting. And props to our opponent for being a good sport and also trying to play an off-meta deck there. Elves is just not very powerful, unfortunately, compared to what else you can be doing. On the play, always love to see it. This hand is not amazing, but we're going to keep it. Up against Yorion, should have checked that first. Untapped 4th land is actually pretty good. Hallowblade's nice because it has the Indestructible and it also docks Elspeth's Nightmare. So we're just going to try and curve out from here and hope it's enough. Spellbinder into Blade Historian. Obviously we're going to take the Shadow's Verdict. That's the card that wrecks us. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like our Spellbinder is going to live to do damage. Yep, there it is. Still, we get in for 6 with the Hallowblade next turn. Unfortunately, we have 2 humans on the battlefield, so nothing to trigger Winota. Cultivate, yep. So a Bone Crusher Giant is lethal here. We get in for 10 next turn. Opponent will be on 1. It was not to be. Okay, do they have another sweeper? Even if they do have another sweeper, is it going to be enough? Shadow's Verdict will not get rid of Blade Historian. Yep, they're just done. That was quick. Okay, so we're on the draw and our hand's pretty mediocre, so we're going to ship this back. This hand is better. What do I put back though? I guess it's one of the doggos. Up against Urion. So yeah, I want to keep these guys and try to curve up to Winota. Maybe it should have been one of the lands, so I have more enablers. But I want to make sure I get there. Lead on the Usher, just get as much power down as we can. Would love to hit a Spellbinder. So we're going to play this guy this turn. We're going to play Shale. Because next turn we're going to play the Usher and the Savior. And then we can put our counters on them. Potentially. Assuming Shale survives. Okay, so we've hit our 4th land. That's nice. That's very nice. Get in for 3 here. This could be a counter spell for our Winota. Binding the Old Gods, sure. What does it hit? Here we go. And they scoop it up. So after all of these triggers went off, we could then activate... Where's my... Yeah, after all of these triggers go off and we hopefully get 3 more creatures on the battlefield, we can then activate the Shale here and put counters on all of them. So that's going to be a pretty chunky attack. So, as promised, still really strong, still stupid easy to win with. This deck is nuts. It's just bonkers. It's so easy to win. I got about a 70% win rate at the moment. I just hit a patch of losses in a row, which is a little unfortunate. Got a little unlucky in a few of those games and made some mistakes in some of them as well. So our win rate's taken a little bit of a hit, but even with that, we're at 70%, which is pretty good. Yeah, so that's about it. Play Winota. It's a great deck. I do have some more content coming for you guys with this deck. Some more best of 1. I played a bunch of games today, so we're going to get at least 2 videos out of it. So that'll be hitting later in the week. Something to watch out for. And given that we do have a sideboard and a really nice write-up from Paulo and a sideboarding guide, I might even take it into best of 3 and see how we go there, because ranking up in best of 1 is so slow. But anyway, you guys have been brilliant. I hope you stay brilliant, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do the other YouTube things, and check the description for the link to Paulo's article about the deck. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you all later.